What is up people, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk to you about Helldivers 2. If you haven't heard of this game over the past week or two, I'd be very surprised. It's after hitting an all-time player count peak of 400,000 on Steam, where it's also the #1 bestseller. Thankfully it's available to play on PlayStation, but unfortunately for anybody who's on Xbox, you're not going to be able to join in. This game is pure insanity. I am talking about the actual game, but I'm also talking about the numbers. For context, the previous title, just called Helldivers, which came out in 2015, that had a peak player count of just under 7,000. Comparing that to 400,000, and then not even including the numbers from PlayStation, it is madness. So if you haven't played the original title, you probably only heard of this game very recently. Nobody was really expecting it. I don't feel like nobody was talking about it. Nobody was waiting around for it. Unless, like I said, you had played the original title, maybe you were excited for it to come out. If not, the first time you probably seen this game was just on TikTok with a clip similar to this. As you can see, it gets very hectic when you're playing it, but it is so good. Now, due to the insane and largely unforeseen success of this game, I wanted to give my opinion on why everyone is going crazy for Helldivers 2 right now. I think that there's three main reasons, and the first reason I think everyone is going crazy for this game is the price. I'm based in Ireland, whereas most of my audience is based in the US, so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to refer to anything with a price in dollars. If it's slightly off, I apologize. It's just because I'm looking at the euros equivalent, but you will get the gist of things. So the price point for this game is $40. It's just nice to see. $40. When's the last time you've seen a game that's this good for that price? You haven't. All the games that are coming out today, you're looking at like $70 to $80. Of course, I'm referring to like bigger titles, but that is mostly what you see. And $70 to $80, it's a lot. This game is nearly half the price, if not half the price, of all them games that's coming out, and it's just as good so far. I can attest to that. Not only is it at the $40 price point, but even when you go into the game deeper, referring to the in-game currency and the microtransactions that you can buy, because it does have them, there's no need to get them. There is a free battle pass. There also is a premium one, but you can quite easily get the premium one by just getting the credits for it to unlock it in missions, or by completing the regular battle pass. So that's also great, because not only are these other games having a price tag of $70 to $80, but as you know, you're paying that, but then you're paying another $10 to $20 for the deluxe edition to get the things you actually want. Then you're paying another $10 for the battle pass. Then you're paying another $5 to complete the battle pass in a reasonable time, because if you're not a 15-year-old who just comes home from school and plays for 5-6 hours, you're not getting whatever battle pass that you've just bought done if you have work to attend to, college and work, a family, you've got kids at home. It's not happening. So you end up paying the 10 plus the 15 plus the 50 to 60 to 70 to 80, and before you know it, you're well over like the $100 mark. It's just tiring. It's good to see a game at this price. It's really refreshing. What I'd nearly call it is a give it a go price, without being tone deaf, because I know there's cost of living going on everywhere with everyone. So I'm not trying to say that $40 is pennies. It still is, you know, a decent amount of money, but it is what I'd almost call a give it a go price. And what I mean by that is, with these games that come out at these higher price points, you feel almost a duty to look at every review you can find from every popular YouTuber, not because you're so excited about the game, but because you're stressed. You're saying, do I actually want to spend $80, a full day's pay over here anyway, if it was the euros equivalent? I'm not sure about some of you out in America or wherever else you may be. But do I want to spend a full day's pay? Do I want to spend however many hours of pay on this game? So you're researching, looking at Reddit forums, looking at a Discord that's been set up, asking all your friends, looking at every review, and in the end you're actually just spoiling the game for yourself. Whereas this being at that halfway point, that cheaper price point, more similar to what maybe older people would have known from a few years ago when you could get a AAA game for, you know, $50 to $60. It's just that give it a go price. It's $40. You know, you buy it. If you don't get enthralled by your experience, it's not the end of the world. You're not obviously going to be happy, but it's not the end of the world. If you get 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 hours, you'll probably be happy. Of course, you want as many as you can get. You want to be playing it for, you know, a full year, longer than that, if that's possible, if it's really your cup of tea like that. But if that didn't happen, if it wasn't the best game to ever exist, if you didn't get into the triple digits for hours played in the game, you wouldn't, like, you know, be so upset over it, because it has that nice smaller price point. So that's my first reason. My second reason for why I think that people are going crazy for Helldivers 2 is the barrier to entry. It's low. It's not difficult to get into. Games aren't supposed to be a chore when you play them. That's the most important thing. You play games to relax, you play games to have fun. You don't play games to stress out. You don't play games to be screaming in a bad way, a negative way, not from, you know, how much fun you're having, but from the trauma that you're putting yourself through. There's lots of different ways the barrier to entry for this game is low. Like I just said, the price point, which is an important thing to once again go back on. Not everyone has $80. This is $40. It's much more manageable. If I said back in the day, can I have $80 for a game, to my parents, good luck. I wouldn't have that game. But if it's $40, maybe I can squeeze something out, do a couple of chores during the week, whatever it may be. When I was working, 16 years old, getting pennies for hours work, $40, probably wasn't wanting to buy any game, but if I did, I'd want it to be cheaper. In terms of difficulties then, you've got loads of different difficulties. Yeah, you can crank this game all the way up, and it's crazy, it's insane, and it involves a lot more strategy. Me, myself, I think the highest difficulty I've played on so far is challenging, which is the fourth one. But it goes trivial, easy, medium, challenging, hard, extreme, suicide mission, impossible, and helldive. So if you have some people who want to go all the way to that helldive, no problem. But if you're wondering, this game is looking sick, but it's been out 2 weeks, I'm seeing people on TikTok talking about they're playing it flat, they wake up, they play Helldivers 2 before they eat their breakfast. If I come into this, am I going to be lost? No, like, it's just a shooter. It's just a back in the day shooter. It's familiar, even though you've never played it before. It just, everything makes sense. You have it, here's your gun, here's your grenades. There you go, like, you've got objectives, it's easy, it's simple. You've got your tutorial at the start of the game. Explains everything for you, really. How to use your map, how to heal yourself, how to shoot guns, how to get your aim to be better, how to dodge bullets, everything really, while also remaining fun and not boring. So that's great. And then once you've done that, you're straight in. And you've got your friends who might be higher levels, they can join you, no issues. You can play on a difficulty that suits you, no issues. Or potentially you can join them on a harder difficulty. And there are roles, if you can see in the clip I'm playing right now, I've got an ammo backpack, which I can use to resupply my teammates. They can get ammo from me. So you can kind of build your character in more of a assist type of role. If you don't want to go straight into the action, if you're not able to kind of maneuver around some of them harder enemies. And my third, final and most important reason why everybody is going crazy for Helldivers 2 is it is just fun. It is the most fun I've had playing a game in a long time. In a long time. this game like encapsulates that era when you're 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and it just, gaming is like such an amazing thing. It's an amazing experience with your friends. It's just fun, and it's how it should be. I want to go off on a little tangent like I do sometimes on this channel. I want to tell you a little story. I feel like GTA is a game a lot of us will have played, and it's a pretty safe bet to say that some of the people who watch this will have played it too. I was playing GTA from when it first came out on the PlayStation 3, all the way from PlayStation 4 to now recently, only very recently though, on PlayStation 5. When GTA first came out, it was a much different game. There wasn't as much involved, but it was amazing. It was like this new thing, this amazing sandbox world. You jumped on with all your friends, and everything was just for fun. There wasn't so many ways to make money, and that wasn't the main focus. There wasn't so many things to just buy, and so the main focus was just having fun. You done races, you done any little mission you could find. You tried to find glitches that would launch you into the air, that would get you into the IAA building, etc, etc. Basically the whole premise is, if you can get the idea, that it was just fun. And recently, like I said, very recently, I downloaded it on the PlayStation 5, went on to play it, and the first week was good. It was fun. There was all these like new things that come out. There's like weekly updates for that game, and something will be like double money and this and that and whatever. And on this particular day, we're playing away, and it's me and another friend, and we're setting up to do a heist for the Diamond Casino, if anybody else has done it, because it was double money that week. And I've never done it before, and we're setting it up. We must have went on at like 12 PM in the afternoon or something. Didn't go off till about 2:30, and we didn't actually do anything. We didn't even complete the heist. We attempted it 2 times, failed it both times, and sitting back and reflecting, I actually left in the middle of the heist because I was like, this is not fun. And I was just like, he was like, agreed. We both went off. And we're like, what are we doing? We were just sitting on a game for hours, grinding towards this like imaginary objective, but it wasn't fun. It was just like we felt like we, for some reason, needed to do it for some strange reason when we didn't. And I want to go into a game to have fun. I don't want to go into a game to be stressed. I don't want to go on and feel like it's like some like fake real life tycoon simulator where all I'm doing is like just doing whatever gets me the most of whether it be XP money in the game, regardless of whether it's fun or not, just because it gets me the most of that said thing, so I can then buy something in the game to then use it for 2 minutes and then be bored and then restart the process all over again. And this game so far, because granted, even GTA, like I said, that came out in 2013, that's been out for 10 plus years. It's been out, it's had such a long lifespan, and it still does very well, and it still is a nice game. This has not been out nearly as long, but my point is it's just fun. In the video right now, you'll see I'm playing with one other player in this particular clip. I don't know this fella. I've never played with him ever before, and you can see the whole time the both of us are running around together just naturally. We're fighting the enemies together naturally. Neither of us were talking to each other. We keep saluting each other. It's like, when you see it on TikTok, it's like everybody wants to play this game. It's the whole for democracy kind of meme going around, the Avatar Death Song meme that you heard in the beginning. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to defeat the robots. Everyone wants to defeat the bugs. Everyone wants to defend Super Earth. That community aspect, that was so reminiscent to me of Planetside 2, which I played a lot when I was younger because it was like a free game, and I loved that aspect of, that was PvP and a lot more players on a map, but I loved the aspect of joining like a certain faction and dropping down, and you're with all your friends, but as in like people you don't even know, but you are part of the same faction, and you're all fighting over these planets, and you can see the percentage, who's winning, who has control over what area. And this is what this feels like. It feels like you're part of this bigger community. You're just going in, guns blazing. You can get called back in very quickly. Like, yeah, there's like a certain amount of lives, but it's high enough that it's something you're not too concerned about, but it's not too high that it, like, you just run around trying to die all the time. It's fun. You've got the friendly fire on, so there's funny moments where you're blowing yourself up, you're blowing your friends up, pause a little bit, I guess. There's some great moments to be had with that. The diving backwards from an explosion while you're firing your gun at a load of enemies. And like, the balance is just perfect. It's perfectly balanced between being fun but still feeling like a really, really good, solid game that gets them other elements of, like, yeah, you can crank up the difficulty and you can like really try hard, and you can look at patrol routes and decide who to fight, who to not fight, making sure you're taking out all the enemies within a certain amount of time to avoid reinforcements, strategically going clockwise around the map to get each objective and each den and nest taken care of. Or you can just go in an easier mode and just kind of run and gun around by yourself, or with a few people, kind of ragtag and just do what you want and experiment and explore the different maps and whatever. It's just such a breath of fresh air. It's so good to have a game like this where it's just not stress-free. I wouldn't say that. There's definitely a lot of stressful moments in it, but it's all fun. I don't think I can say fun any more times than I have in this 5 minutes I've been talking about the last reason I think the game's so popular. But I mean it, like, it's just great, like, and I hope it continues on its success and upwards climb. There is one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the negative that some people are bringing up. So let's get into that. So the big negative I'm seeing, and it's not even so much as a negative as it is a prediction of what the negative for this game will be, is that it's going to be repetitive. Is this going to be the type of game that after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're going to be completely like bored out of your mind? You're not going to want to ever pick the game back up again after spending your money on it and getting all your friends to get it? The first answer to that, the answer I need to say, everyone else needs to say, is that we don't know. Because at the start of this video I said you might have heard of this game over the past week or two. The game's actually not even been out for 2 weeks. It's been out for 12 days. It came out on the 8th of February. It's so brand new. So who knows if it's going to be repetitive. And nobody thinks it's repetitive right now, but they're just predicting that it will be. Personally, I don't think it will. Some people might feel different. I do want to say that I feel like, as much as, you know, you want to get value for your money, gamers nowadays can be quite reactive and like to prejudge things. I don't think that this is going to get boring as quickly as some people are predicting it's going to be for some reason. I think it's going to be fine. A type of example I'd like to bring up is Call of Duty Zombies. I know it's not the exact same thing, but you know, it's a 4-player co-op against a PvE type enemy. It's round based, although there's not usually like a proper ending, at least to the older versions of Call of Duty Zombies. I'm not sure about that mess they have going on over in Modern Warfare now. They can keep that. But if I'm looking at the original Call of Duty World at War Zombies, you had 4 maps. I think it was literally only the 2 different types of enemies. It was just the basic zombies and then dogs, and you have 4 players. And that entertained people for how long? And obviously there was different stuff. There was the mystery box, there was guns on the wall, there was different aspects. But the point being, there wasn't so much, but it was just solid. And people enjoyed it and stuck with it, and it went on for another however many games and stayed solid until, like I said, it got to a point where it kind of fell apart a little bit. But that's a story for a different day. There really is a lot in this game. Obviously when you see people talking about it, it's more like it's very like surface level. You just see guns firing, explosion, bugs, robots, and that's it. And you might think like, oh well, that's everything that's in the game, but like there is lots. Like I've said in this video, there is the regular battle pass, there is then that premium battle pass, which is pretty easily unlocked through just completing your regular battle pass or playing the game. There is 8 different planets I think at the moment that are open, so that's 8 whole worlds. I know they're not, I don't know what scale map you'd like to compare them to, but they are quite big. I don't know how long it would take you to run from one side to the other, or that they're all exactly the same size, but they are large. They are quite large for a group of only 4 players. So you've got 8 different planets, 2 battle passes, you've got your ship, which you get to put a name on, just a nice little thing. You've got all your customization for, you know, your cape, your helmet, your suit of armor, your banner. You've got your emotes, you've got your different guns that you can equip, you've got all your different abilities, you've got ones that are more passive, ones to assist your teammates. You've got 20 what seems like 20 million different things that you can call down from your ship. You've got, you know, all these different mechanics. You've got, if you get shot in the arm, your aim gets worse. If you get shot in the leg, you start limping a bit. So there is really nice details. There's also a lot of destruction that can go on throughout the map if you're near buildings and stuff. Someone brought up, I seen in a forum, which was interesting, how Arrowhead might have, I think, taken developers from DICE. That would explain the destruction to a point in this game. If anyone played some of the Battlefield games, which I loved so much, Battlefield 4 in particular for me personally. But there's that aspect of destruction. There's side objectives when you're in your map. There's a first person while you're aiming in, as well as your third person. I feel like there's a lot, and I feel like it's not even 2 weeks. You can't judge it to say whether it's repetitive or not. I think the 400,000 player count speaks for itself. The developers have openly said that they did not expect anywhere near that level of players on their game. Delighted for them. They seem like they really care about the game as well. They seem like they're in it for the game, not just to make as much money as possible out of it. I think there's another type of enemy that's probably going to come along the line. Some Helldiver 1 veterans will probably know more about that than me. I think there's going to be plenty enough to keep us entertained for a good solid amount of time, and especially considering the price point, to keep us entertained and satisfied for $40. Definitely, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Like I said, we all have to wait and see. We have to give it, you know, at least a month and a half, 2 months before you start making them sorts of predictions. See what the player count is like. In conclusion, the 3 reasons I think people are crazy about Helldivers 2 right now is because the price. It's half the price of a lot of games that are coming out today. It's honestly, considering everything as well. Sorry, that was my pen. Considering everything that's happened with this game, all positives, which have unfortunately caused some issues with servers and stuff, it's all been dealt with as well as you would like to see it dealt with. And that, like I said, that is actually just a positive, which is happening to have a slightly negative effect on the game. So you've got your half, you've got your decent price point, you've got your nicely priced microtransactions that don't affect the game, but they're there, but they're not costing you an arm and a leg. You're not paying $30 for a skin over here, so that's refreshing to see. You've got your low barrier to entry, like I said, the price $40, nothing more after that. You do a tutorial, it's literally not even 5 minutes long. Hop straight in, go in with your friends, play a support role. You've got the fun. So fun. I will be playing it. I'm gonna start making videos on it. I'm really enjoying it. If I was to say, should I recommend it or not, I would definitely recommend you pick it up and give it a go. And that's it. So if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.